Hello and welcome back to An Old Man Plays Masquerada. Let's pick up where we left off, because that's where we have to pick up. That's the way the game save system works. At the Withering Mast.
She has taken all three of them into her room.
That cape is just cloth over the shoulder of a mortal thirsty for flesh. But come, her job is done. It is time for us to retrieve Sasha for her.
Sasha. The stairs down are just beyond this door.
I understand.
Cicero, they're likely guarded.
Then woe to the men who stand for the foul.
What are you doing here?
This'll be fun.
It's through this latch.
Fairly straightforward fight.
Intruders!
Watch your flanks!
Could I please actually do what I'm told? I'd like the game to actually follow my instructions, please. Okay, we found a new ink.
Intruders!
Eyes from the White Spire.
Stay back, Sable.
Finally gathered the gold to try, did you? You seem to have forgotten what happens to the children of women who...
You leave Sasha alone!
Don't waste your words. When you're gone, you won't be able to shed tears for her anyway. And you, Inspitore, it seems you found out about my little operation. I'm afraid I can't...
She's a
let
charmer,
you
isn't
leave
she?
now.
Here we go.
No. Why does it keep ignoring my instructions? are starting to get through her defences slowly.
No! Cicero! She's going after
Come on.
Sasha!
Ah, yes, the old they get away whatever you decide thing.
A final chance, Inspitore. Turn and leave, and the blood of the innocent needn't be on your hands.
I will not let willful ignorance cost the people of this Banco their lives, Beneva.
Oh, you interfering will do far worse than that, I assure you.
Beneva, please!
Enough! If talk will not turn you away, then perhaps action will.
Justice will blind you.
No! You will see what you can cost them.
Sasha!
The bad guy is scripted to get away thing.
You have lost, Beneva. Stand down and let the people of this Banco go.
This is Umber, Inspitore. Nothing is lost until death, and little is gained without it.
Hold your ground!
I don't know if I can do anything for this kid or what, but... I don't know how you're supposed to kill her fast enough. What are you supposed to do to
You
save...
have lost, Beneva.
For the light!
Can I attack the ice tomb? Maybe? Oh yes, okay, I can attack the ice tomb, fine. Then that is what I shall do. Not actually attacking a baby right now? Nope, okay. Got her. Okay. So you just have to smash the ice thingy. Fine.
You.
The mechanisms of a contract, Beneva.
The Labores are fools. They think to take everything into their own hands, but you have seen through their ideals. You know why this place exists.
I am not here for your justifications. Goodbye, Beneva.
Sasha!
Take it in. We owe it to you.
Please, Sable. If it hadn't been for you...
Stop it, Cicero. You know where the true credit lies.
Looks like they're leaving.
Goodbye, Inspectore.
Goodbye.
Corrupting potential power can never be underestimated. No heart, no matter how bright, is safe from its reach. Matron Beneva is a prime example. Having left Decaphed underprivileged and abused, could nothing to stop her. The temptation to take a shortcut to power was strong for the matron. It's unsurprising she gave in to that enticement. Unfortunately for her, her fortune was not to last. The city may be a dark place, but it is still a place with rules, however twisted they may be. The Laborious put a contract on her head for her attempts at flouting the rules of the city, and her life came to an end soon after. I think there was also one for Sable. Sable too. And so she leaves, her life changed. Helping her wasn't the worst of feelings. It's good of us to say so. We have some points. Do we wish to spend? What's Proteus do? Bonus if I change stances. I could upgrade Waterblade or Atmos Ring. I don't yet have the points to upgrade Waterblade or Atmos Ring. Okay. Ditto, ditto. Right, well that can wait then. Again, this is one of the bloodless messengers, Vasco, who has informed us that if we are indeed desire the blood's assistance in identifying the Herald and locating Lysandra, first going to have to complete a contract, which we've done.
Leaving so soon?
Zelia,
A good thing you did today.
what are you doing here?
Keeping an eye on my wards, of course, and the people who interfere with them. I am the head matron of the Sorelli, lest you've forgotten.
And you let this pass?
I did not encourage it, certainly. But Beneva had her uses, though even she was not aware of my gaze.
But yet you seem to care none that Beneva is now gone.
In the city, those who cannot learn to ride the tides of change will quickly drown beneath their foam. A few letters of appreciation to both the Laborious and the Registry for rooting out the rotten flesh. A promise from one of the lesser matrons that she will take care of this ward better than Beneva. In the grand scheme, there is little that is lost from the late matron's departure.
What is this about, Zelia? Surely you didn't stop me to remind me of the Dance of Shadows.
It's come to my knowledge that you're traveling with one of my mariners.
What of it?
Are you aware that he is in charge of an orphanage?
He mentioned it briefly before.
Today a songstress came by asking for him.
Olana.
She's asked for his place of residence, invoking her authority as songstress to claim the knowledge. We told her about the sail heart.
You want me to tell him?
If you could be so kind. I have a feeling this might be something he'd want to know.
I'll see to it that he does.
Thank you, Inspectore. Now, I best be off. The events here have clearly taken care of themselves. Until next time, Cicero.
Let's get back. I have news for the mariner.
So it's about, will we finally get the answers about Colden? Let's have a look. Okay. So there was, I think, another one of these that I went to do something else instead. Like I went through, there were two choices. There was a purple and a yellow thing I could go to. I went to the yellow first. Clearly you need to do the purples first. Oh, no great loss.
And you are certain that it's true?
The messenger that delivered it was trustworthy, yes.
I need to go.
What is it?
Earlier this day, you offered to listen to my burdens.
That offer still stands.
You should follow me. But you alone.
Very mysterious. Says the leaping lion contributed a large part to Livia. Yes, Lavena for this hard work, dedication, building time was paramount. Was Livia's fine taste that truly brought in the customers. Well, Livia met a future husband who was under an unusual circumstance. Her then partner came to Leaping Lion for a drink and she'd followed along. The man that she came with had just returned with a long voyage, just needed a drink, so he had a dozen and a reckon line. He was a burly man, and Lancelot tried desperately to convince him to leave. The man was not one to be persuaded. When his destructive spree finally ended, the man stormed off so he really got he'd come with company. Livia, seeing the destruction, feeling sorry for Van, offered to stay and give advice on the reconstruction. Van agreed, and the Leaping Lion remained able to attract patrons in great numbers after.
Galden?
What?
Talk to me about the sail heart. I'd like to know more about it.
12 years ago, I had just been promoted to skipper and had been given a home in the tempered tides. It wasn't a big place, but it was decent enough for a whole family, though I lived alone. One day, there was a loud rapping on my door. It was raining that evening, I remember, and I could hardly distinguish the knocks from the thunder. But I opened the door and found him, dressed in the gold of the Luca, standing before me, drenched in rain and blood. In his arms he carried a body, a young girl that had belonged to a mask runner his patrol had killed. He secretly broke away from them and brought her to the first house with lights, not even knowing if I would take them in. That child was Vint, the first of my 11. And so began what you know as the Sail Heart.
Sounds like quite the hero. Who was this, from the Golden Guild?
Jaxus.
Jaxus Corvale, the songstress's brother.
Yes.
Come on out, little girl.
Get away!
Leave her alone.
We've got this!
I don't think running away is going to help very much.
Vint, it's me.
Oh, thank the ages, Cal.
What happened?
Those men, they must have followed the songstress. I think they were thinking of robbing her, but when they saw the sail heart...
As long as you're safe.
I'm fine.
You mentioned a songstress.
She's left. I'm sorry. She sounded as if she knew you. Once she came in, we couldn't stop her.
Tides.
So yes, so better do these first, basically. Another Royal Masquerine. Oh, and we've got points to spend, don't we? So what I can do, I can either do... I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. Make their existing powers better.
Please, please.
Calden, what are you searching for?
Tides, where is it?
Calden!
It's gone.
It's gone.
Please, Calden.
No!
No.
What were you looking for?
My journal.
She took it?
She must have. It's not here.
And you're worried about a journal?
This way.
Through that door there? No, up the stairs. Okay.
What is this? By the ages. Whose is this?
No one's. Not anymore.
I would say it's Jackson's.
Armor of the Luca.
Jaxus.
Jaxus.
This
sorry.
was his room.
It was ours.
Calden. Songs unsung.
Now you understand.
I'm afraid I do.
And
I don't know.
all right. Please. Close the doors behind you.
Calden, wait. Damn.
Oh no, that's Zelia. I don't want Zelia, I want Calden. There we go. So truth has come to life. Jax's Corvell brother, the songstress, will only have been involved with Calden. They loved each other, that much is clear from what I've observed, and so he's Talios, the first I've known personally. So I'm guessing. Talios was one of these. There. Those whose inclinations lead them away from the typical course of bearing children labelled Talios, blights on the legacies. Okay, so it's homophobia, basically. These are his affairs and nothing needs to change. That is absolutely correct. Letter.
A tattoo kit? The sunset. What a view.
After that.
He told me.
Guessed as much when I saw him leave.
I think I might have offended him.
Did you insult Jax?
No, I just said I didn't know how I feel about it all.
Nah, he's not offended then. Sad, maybe, but not offended. Cal's better than that.
You always know.
Yep, a whole lot of us do. And we only love him more for it. He and Jax took good care of us. Better than any of our real parents did, at least.
And you have no issue?
No offense to your mighty cape or anything, sir, but what's there to take issue with? He loves differently from other people. It's still love, and I wasn't taught ever that love was bad.
I know. I was just surprised, I suppose.
But do you take issue with it? The way the whole songs does?
No, not I.
That's good. You should let him know. He doesn't hear things like that enough these days. Come on, sir. I'll walk you out.
A final question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Jax's. What happened to him?
I'd rather not talk about it. Here we are, sir. I'll see you around.
Quite likely, yes. If you ever need to speak to Calden about anything, he's staying with me at a place called the Estiguary.
Can't say I know it, but I'll be damned if I can't find my way around the city. Excuse my language, sir.
It's all right. Take care of yourself, Vint.
Concept family is dramatically different things, depending on which part of the city one hails from. To Masquerada, familial ties are ones formed by blood and blood alone. So Contadani, however, blood means far less. Most of us that grew up in the gutters have missing squares and patchwork. There's our family tree. Long lost mother or an unidentifiable father. With this lack of reverence to biological bounds comes a certain freedom, the ability to choose those that one regard as family, such as the case with orphans like Vint. I mean, I do not know her familiar. It's easy to tell from the way she talks about Calden and the other children that Salhard is as much a home to her as any of the guilds are to a Masquerada. Desperation as common motive drives actions of many in the city. I've seen this which pushes the people. Consequences had. Well, Honor might have simply taken Colden's journal, but the move is more than just petty thievery. It's a crossing of boundaries. I do not know exactly how her involvement is going to steer the course of events, but only that it will.
Is there any other business you have here? If not, we should get back to the Estiguary. I, for one, am exhausted.
We?
Calden. I was branded a deserter of war. I know how it feels to have the world turn against you. And I'd not inflict that upon anyone. You included.
But earlier...
I was surprised, that's all.
And here I was, ready to pack.
Speaking from experience?
My family. Found out when I was young. Acquainted my face with their fists, threw me out, hoping the thugs or disease would get to me before I could ruin their legacy.
And you proved them wrong.
I never wanted to. All I wanted was to go home.
Well, you have a new home now, anyway.
A home that I worry daily about losing.
Is this why you treat Bosco the way you do?
As someone in the inner circle of the Bloodless, he could know.
And you were afraid word would spread.
Once that happened, if the Hall of Songs knew...
What would happen? I apologize for asking. I am not familiar with these things.
My brother has no children, and my parents' songs were sung a decade ago. If the Hall found out about me, they would deem my family's legacy tainted. Its space on the singing tree would be given to proper families with legacies that will endure.
Does your brother know?
He's the one that cared for me after I was thrown out into the streets. In a way, like you, I owe him my life, and I will not tolerate any threats to his legacy, myself included.
And now Orlana has your journal.
I know.
But what was in it that...
If those are winds we must sail, then let them blow first. I think Vasco should have returned by now, and I am eager to hear what he has to say. The closer we get to finding my brother, the better I'll feel.
I understand. A final word, Calden, before we lay this issue to rest.
Yes?
You don't have any plans to tell the others about this, do you?
What do you mean?
I mean, I only speak for myself when I claim acceptance. I am not sure how the others would take it, and I'd rather not find out. Not while we all have to work together.
It's all right. I understand. I hadn't intended to anyway.
Thank you.
Let's go see what this... Is it M for the other masks? Taunts. Attack speed.
We're back.
So what was that all about?
Just some Sorelle issues. Nothing you need concern yourself with.
Nothing to do with the investigation?
No. Personal things.
What about Vasco? Have you heard word from...
Salutations. I am returned.
Where is the Bloodless?
In his abode, in a ward which I am certainly disallowed to mention.
You said we could speak with him.
I said he would give you your answers, and answers he has given.
You...
It's all right, Marshal. The answers were our goal either way.
So they were, and so I shall present them. First, the Herald. Unfortunately, he's too recent a phenomenon. Information about him is conflicted, and the most the Bloodless can give is that the Herald is part of a Masquerada faction called the Dactytes.
Nothing new there.
Second, Lysandra. The Whispering Streets.
Labyrinth of the Masqueraders.
How are we supposed to find anyone in that damnable ward?
It will be difficult. The ward is among the city's biggest. Even worse, I doubt she stays in one place. It could take us days.
I have an idea.
What are you asking for? Another contract?
No. Information.
About?
I heard you mention that you were going through all these troubles to find the mariner's brother. Am I correct?
Yes.
Why?
Inspectore, if we tell him, the Bloodless will know. Given that he trades in information, word could get around.
Marshal, you seem to have a disturbingly inaccurate view of the Bloodless and his messengers. Just because we dabble in information does not mean that we spill it all over the place. But of course, you and your bright guild would know nothing about subtlety and secrets, would you? Seeing how you handled Izander and...
Do not defame my guild!
So instead, I should stand here and let you defame mine.
Enough! The twins have been kind enough to find a location free of the politics of the city, and I will not allow the both of you to drag your baggage along. Within these walls, we are colorless. We are here for one purpose, and that is to get Razatov back. The masked runners have him. It's why we're looking for Lysandra, to lead us to the Herald.
And what's he to them?
He was researching powerful ancient artifacts of the Dementicate. If there's anyone that can get us to them, it's him.
Artifacts that do what exactly?
I'd tell you if I knew.
I see. Thank you, Inspectore, for the trust. You can rest assured that I shan't abuse it.
Now, that plan you were talking about?
The pin drop.
The ruins?
Yes. I can do a thing. Spread rumors. Entice Lysandra with word of a cache of Mascherines found. And with the Bloodless's help, and trust me, he will help, I can do it by tonight.
You want to bait her out into the ruins?
In this time when Mascherines are so scarce, I'm certain she will fall for it.
It sounds like a plan.
What's this? The mariner supporting me now?
Don't make me take it back.
So, Inspectore, what'll it be?
Go. Do what you must.
We should head to the pin drop first thing come sunrise. I will be back here by then.
By the night. I can't believe we just told him.
We didn't have much choice, Marshal. We should get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be a long day.
Ah, I see you found my trove.
What are these?
My treasures.
Then, the last thing you counted among your treasures tried to kill me.
Oh, please, Cicero. Nala wasn't even poisonous. Besides, biting was her way of showing affection.
Well, at least these aren't alive.
They're very special brews. I'd been cleaning up the estiguary some months ago when I rediscovered a recipe I'd gotten off some Tesseric tourists years and years ago. As you can tell, there hasn't been much business here lately, so I thought I'd try something new. Occupy myself and all that.
Was the recipe any good?
Well,
You haven't tried them?
you know I'm not one for these sort of things, and,
What?
you could try one and tell me what you think. The first to try the batch. Consider it an honor.
Your enthusiasm worries me.
Oh, come on, Cicero. For old time's sake. Please?
Why do I think I'm going to regret this?
So, what do you think? Cicero? Cicero?
Songs, Sven.
Ages. I thought I lost you.
How long was I out?
1 minute and 3 seconds.
For a moment, we thought you were dead.
I'm surprised I'm not.
You didn't think you could go off dying on us like that, did you? Can you imagine the songs they'll sing of you, dying because you had a bad drink? The embarrassment.
It was worth a shot.
It was worth 10. That thing is potent, Ven.
For a man who just passed out, you seem fine now.
Yes, the recovery period is surprisingly short.
Oh?
It might hit you like a steed at first, but once it lightens up, well...
Go on, Cicero. Don't leave me hanging. How do you feel?
As though some weight's been lifted. There's a strange clarity to the world. I can't describe it exactly, and I don't know how long it'll last, but I'll admit it isn't the worst feeling.
What news? How excellent!
Indeed. As a connoisseur of fine spirits, I must say your description of it has piqued my interest.
Be warned, though, the initial sensations are not mild. I advise caution.
Well, the mariner is here to take care of us if we so choose to subject ourselves to it, no?
I suppose I could do that.
Perfect! Consider us warned.
Okay, so you can use that to reset skills.
So, the stone.
It doesn't react to any of the chemicals that I've got, and I can't even scratch it. Whatever you've brought me, it's something special. Everstone, perhaps?
Well, I can't say that lives up to my hopes, but thank you nonetheless, Ven.
You're welcome. And,
What?
I am a collector, after all. And,
You can have it.
Truly?
Why not? Just as long as you tell me if you find anything more.
Of course. Thank you, Cicero. Now, I think I'll run it through some more, experimental techniques. Oh, this is exciting.
Let's check there's nothing to do over there. Nope. Okay. Let's see what the case notes are telling us. So we've got a plan for Lysandra. Stonefan rides the first to a dead end. he's going to do more experiments, which may turn things up at some point, I'm guessing. And we move on to the next day, presumably.
You have something for me?
I promise to make good on our bargain by the day's end.
And the day is almost over.
The lady has delivered as she promised. She has found where your rebel leader has been hiding.
And where is...
And she has given you the means you asked for.
What is this?
It is yours.
Appears to be a very large fey. Gosh, I wonder if I need to talk to her.
The Second Canticle? My brother used to sing it quite a bit. He'd often dreamed about what the city was like during the time. I was thinking, maybe if we found the artifacts, found out how they were used to create Mascherines, maybe we could turn back time. Make the city the way it was back in the Second Canticle. What do you think?
What do you want?
Amadea.
What do you want?
An answer.
I don't hear a question.
Why are you shutting me out?
I'm sorry. Were you expecting the world to greet you with open arms?
I hadn't expected it to bury me under ice. When I found out that you were a mask runner, I thought... I don't know, that I could talk to you.
Talk to me?
You were a mask runner, a part of what my brother had once led. Is it so wrong for me to want to connect with his legacy?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Why?
Because I've left that life behind. Who do you think you are to come back and try to talk to me about the war that you weren't even a part of? You don't know what we went through.
I lost my brother.
I lost my life. Everything that I had, everything that I was, I lost. So don't you dare come back and tell me to talk to you about it.
Then why did you agree to come?
That went well.
Oh, my friends, what secrets you've been keeping.
This...
Assuming he wants me to go down again? Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know where it is?
I've heard its name before. Doesn't mean I've actually visited it.
What's going on?
The rumors have been spread, but we don't know where the pin drop is exactly.
Yes, well, I'd taken for granted that...
That what?
That maybe one of you might have known.
It's a set of ruins, isn't it? You'd know where it is, wouldn't you, Amadea?
It's an obscure set. I've heard of them before, but I should be able to find it if I came along.
Excellent. What are we waiting for, then?
So I guess that's telling you have to take her. For plot reasons, no doubt.
Today is a special day. Amadea will be your guide.
Are you sure, sir? We know the city like the back of our hands.
Do you know where the pin drop is?
Well, that's... might be the dirt under our fingernails.
Let's go.
All right, now stay left. We don't want to cross the roads that circle the old fountain.
So that'll take us through Alamar's Alley?
No, you go around that. When you come to the junction, turn right.
But I thought you said to stay left.
Not this time.
Well, that's what you said about Periwinkle Gardens.
Well, I'm saying that again. So listen. Stay left, and when you come across the 3rd Street up the junction of the 7th and 11th...
She's good at giving directions.
Did we finally make it?
The ruins are right over there.
Oh, thank the ages. I don't think the horses would have survived another turn.
Well, they'll have to, because you can't stay here. It's too open.
And where do you suppose we go then?
There's an abandoned warehouse just off this street. You can hide the horses in there and climb to its top story. It's quite safe. You'll be able to see the pin drop and watch for our return.
Right. Got it.
And off they toddle.
Hear something?
I'm not sure. Sounds like rushing water. So, where do you think she'll be?
In the ruins just ahead. No one will think to look for Mascherines out here, and...
Here come bad guys.
Damn it.
Turn around. Well, I'd heard that you'd returned to our shores, but you... What are you doing with him?
The company I keep is none of your business.
It is when he abandoned us.
Like you abandoned Invidious.
Amadea, it's been 5 years.
And he's still gone.
You disappoint me, Cicero. I'd been waiting here, hoping to be surprised, but yet you simply walk in.
How did you know?
The ways of the street are my lifeline. You think I would not suspect anything when rumors begin popping up all over the place? You're a fool to think that plan would have worked. I knew someone was baiting me out. I wanted to know who.
Now you do.
Now I want to know why.
I need to get to the Herald.
And you think I will take your hand and lead you there?
Well, I was hoping we could come to an arrangement, yes.
What bridge do you see that I do not, Cicero? What reasons am I blinded to that have made you believe that I have forgiven you for what you did 5 years ago?
My brother is gone, and...
Because of you! You could have fought for him. For us. Your people. And instead you chose that cape!
I did not choose the Masquerada over you!
No! Even worse. You didn't choose at all. A spineless, pathetic man is easier to hate than even a traitor!
Do you think I don't know that?
Why do you want the Herald?
The Dactytes have captured a friend of mine. I need to get him back.
And what will you do for us?
My friend was on a quest for great power. If you lead us to the Herald...
Do not lie to me.
I may have burnt my bridges once, but I have not forgotten my roots.
If you are searching for the Herald, there are a few things you must know.
The ruins!
Get down! Is everyone all right?
Other than the fact that we nearly died.
Nearly. Be grateful.
I don't believe it. The Dactyte's here before us again. Where are we?
The pin drop. Those holes in the ground. This must be what's beneath.
There's so much life here.
There's water from the river and sunlight from above. It's beautiful.
Weapon at the ready! We should move. We need to find a way out of this place.
So, day 3. Dactytes seem to be ahead of every step, frustrating to no end, for they've proven time and again to be of the greatest inconvenience. Just when I was convinced Lysandra this is the only station, they sweep in and blast the ground. Beneath our feet, I hope Lysandra's all right.
It's this place, exactly. It barely feels like we're in the city at all.
We're beneath it. That river over there, I suspect the Kalara drains out through this. The hundreds of years that it's been coursing through here must have been enough to carve out this cavern beneath the surface. Lost legacies. There. That spire cuts through the earth. Might be our exit. What do you think?
I think there's an enemy.
So, Amadea. Invidious?
What did you say about our mouths getting us out of this?
Amadea, this is ridiculous.
I'm sorry if I'm concerned about getting us out.
Who is invidious?
I told you.
If you don't want to talk about it because it makes you upset, then fine. But once it affects the investigation...
It's not.
She opened up to you and you shut her out. We could have used that. Who is invidious?
He brought me into the Mascherines. Taught me everything I know. During your brother's assault on the White Spire, a bunch of us went. I was supposed to go with Invidious. Support him. But when things got rough, Lysandra pulled me out. She let Invidious die. When I found out, I left the Mascherines. End of story. Are we done?
For now.
Then let's move.
I've got you.
This looks ceremonial.
Religious, even.
And now she's run off. Okay. And Venus was left behind so Lysandra could secure the cask of Mascherines, who sacrificed for the good of the Master Runners. There's no one who's able to handle this. What will you do for Robert something so precious against the will, despite knowing it's for the good of our people? To be angry would be selfish, but yet accepting would have advocated that course of action. Understanding the source of his grief made me realise more and more that we share very similar burdens. Hers might not have involved the entire city, but it does not invalidate them in the least.
Oh, that's rather elaborate. Who's that? In the middle?
I'm not sure. There's a mark on his head, but I can't quite make out what it is.
They seem to be fawning over him.
They certainly look like they're cleaning him, yes.
A king of sorts, perhaps? There seem to be guards at the edge of the mural.
Or a
Too early to say. We should keep moving.
This is where the king was cleaned, it seems.
It certainly corresponds with the mural. Up there.
What does it say?
It's not Dementica, it's just a symbol. The other doors have it as well.
Hold on. I recognize one of them. The one on the right. There was a collection of stones in the room that looked like it. This is it.
You think it might be a key of some sort?
Only one way to find out.
Ready yourselves!
They seem very good at dropping stuff on top of themselves and ending up getting just as badly hurt as my guys are.
There we go.
Another mural.
What's this one about?
This one's a little clearer. They've written the symbol of mind above the mural.
It doesn't look very pleasant, does it?
It's the same man from earlier. The one with the mark on his forehead.
Can you make it out here?
No, but I'm getting the feeling that he wasn't a king.
I'm thinking sacrifice.
This is where they laid him out.
I don't understand what they used it for, though.
These tools look painful.
Unfit for a king, surely.
Here, again.
It's as though there was a procedure that was supposed to be followed. A ritual that brought them through these rooms in this order.
Well, we still have another 2 rooms to go, so let's make it quick.
I'll cover you.
Not sure that these attacks in between going through the doors really adds much, but it's a very typical kind of computer RPG thing of, you know, find the key, trigger a trap, kill the monsters, open the door, get a cutscene.
This must have been their god. What word is that above it?
Soul.
The word on his head is a lot clearer now. Amadea?
It means criminal.
This was his punishment?
I don't know.
Well, we should look around. There's still one last door.
His word is law. Our lives are his. Faith in him must we place, for he sees all, knows all. His gaze could rain destruction. His heartbeat could give life to lands. His breath could level mountains. His whisper could open the skies. Time is his plaything. The lands are his clay.
And here's the last one.
Are you ready?
What are they doing?
Not attacking.
Why?
The statue. They're staying away from it.
As though they revere it too.
Come on. Let's not take it for granted.
So I'll probably just play to the end of this segment until we get out onto the surface again.
What do you think this whole ritual was about?
I'd say some sort of cleansing. In the first hall, there was a physical cleansing. In the second...
It said mental, but I don't think cutting people up was very clean for the mind.
The third hall was a cleansing of the soul. It was a religious room, after all.
And now the last one?
Probably to see why our poor criminal needed to be so clean. Let's go. This mist again. Be on your guard. Oh no.
Let's do this!
What am I supposed to attack? I can attack that, apparently. Another Masquerine.
It's all Dementica.
It's a recitation. You who sinned, you have been cleansed. You will serve, a vessel to atone for your transgressions. You will heal the flesh you harmed and shield the face you scorned. For all eternity you will be. Your soul will be bared for all to see, and your strength given to those you weakened. Through the Father's heart you will be redeemed.
So you'll be turned into a Masquerine.
Ophira amesta avis atu. From man to mask, you will be.
Are you saying?
The Mascherines had once been Dementicate. They're criminals. There is no other interpretation.
These were their gallows.
Tides. And the artifacts. They facilitated this? Converted the Dementicate into Mascherines?
I think they did.
Ages. This changes everything.
You bet it does. Our Mascherines. They'd been alive once, Cicero. They'd have stories to tell, worlds to paint for us. If only we could somehow get to them. What?
I'm just trying to understand.
I think I explained it quite well.
Not it. You. Why you try so hard to hide this side of you. Under all your acidic words, there is a heart that beats. I just don't know why you suffocate it.
Cicero, don't.
But Amadea...
So the Dementica had a god. It only comes so surprising. Most other civilizations do. It seems like Briag, as well as gave a part of himself to Dementica, so those civilizations could prosper. Well, it worked, but at what cost?
There we go.
Amadea?
I was just thinking. The artifacts, if we find them, if we want to make more Mascherines, who's going to play the criminal?
Come on.
Maybe we shouldn't make more Mascherines. Just a thought.
Tides. It's been moons since I climbed so many flights.
Just be glad it's behind us.
What is that? Liz.
We have to help her.
Ages, what is that thing?
Questions later.
You forced my hand.
Well, that wasn't very successful, was it?
Amadea.
We searched the cavern below, sir. She didn't make it.
Get back to the streets. The others need to know. Gently.
I'm sorry.
This moment has been on the horizon ever since the war began.
That doesn't make it any easier.
Yes, it does. We are tired of fighting, of losing, of dying. Our respect for Lysandra, for the dream she held on to, was all that kept us going. Now that she is gone...
What are you saying?
Perhaps now is the time for us to rest, to fade into the shadows, where we should never have left. Perhaps it is good that she is gone.
You don't mean that.
Yes, I do. The crest of the Malacarte. Your brother designed it. A wreath of...
Of Night's Bane, to remind us to be a beacon of light in the darkest shadows. A swath of red for the blood of those who gave their lives for us. And a shattered mask for the dream that one day they will not matter.
That dream has long withered in our hearts. This crest no longer has a home.
Cesaro.
Take it, or the soil will. Good. Now, the golden canvas.
What?
Before the Dactytes attacked, Lysandra was going to tell you about the Herald. They have a temple under the golden canvas. Lysandra and I had been there once. They tried converting us, but we resisted.
A temple?
For something that's appearing to be their religion. Go there, and you will learn more yourself. There is only a single red grating in the whole ward. Descend through it, and you'll figure it out.
And what of the Malacarte?
I have said already. Now is the time for us to sleep. Goodbye, Cicero. I hope we never see each other again. little early for a fire.
It's a cold day.
Did you know her well?
Not really. I'd seen her maybe twice in all. And she and my brother, they were close.
There was nothing you could have done. You made a breakthrough today, learning about Mascherines. That's quite an accomplishment.
It doesn't feel like it.
Everyone's talking about the golden canvas. It's Seho's sojourn today. It'll be bustling.
Festivities, just what I needed.
Cicero.
I know, this is pathetic, but allow me just a moment. The Melicate were my brother's dream, and now it seems foolish that I'm mourning something that died years ago.
You mourn when your heart calls for it. There is never a foolish time.
Calden?
Yes?
Never mind. It's an unworthy thought.
I think by now we both know there is no such thing.
I think there is.
This investigation, this thing that we're wrapped up in, it's growing bigger than I ever imagined it'd be.
I don't think any of us imagined that we'd learn that Mascherines had been Dementicate, that they'd been alive.
I don't know what else we'll find. How much bigger this might get. We have limits, all of us. I made a promise.
And you're trying to keep it. That's enough for me.
Have you spoken to the twins?
The carriage can't fit all of us, but they're willing to make 2 trips. Leventhus and his family have plans to go too. They are runic after all.
Then we should leave soon.
I'll tell the others.
Okay, and that is where we will call it for today. With one more of the named characters taken off the board, and further investigation to go on. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you in the next one.